What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at World Cup icon Baggio, the 5-star, 4-star Italian, medium low on the work rates, 5'9", with obviously the cam, right-footed, and his alternative position is a centre forward. I can imagine a lot of people will be okay with the positioning of him. I personally, as a 4-4-2 merchant, are annoyed because I've got to change the complete setup with this. We are going to be using him very much forward based, obviously in the cam centre forward where he is most effective. Obviously, we can't really put him on the wings. I feel like he wouldn't be as efficient in that sort of position. We've got good pace on him. The acceleration is nice. Finishing wise, with obviously the finisher chem style, looking pretty mighty. He'll end up with 91 shooting and 95 dribbling, which is where that cam centre forward role really will come into fruition. We've got okay stamina, nothing too crazy at 76, composure at 84, which is okay for now, but definitely in a month or two that might be considered low with the sort of players that we're getting now. The improvements on every single upgrade is getting crazy in every position, so obviously that is going to be a big thing to watch out for. Passing looking really good. I'm interested with him. He is coming in at 166k, which is relatively cheap. Base at 82 and his mid at 160, so 6k under this one. We'll have a look at all of them and the comparisons at the end of the video, but now let's see what Baggio can do. If you're looking for coaching service, foot champs, rivals, or just looking for generic coins, 100k, 500k, a mil, I recommend using Sky Coach at skycoach.gg. Link will be in the description, and make sure on your checkout to use the code JT11 for a discount on your order. Into the Italian. What can we see? Love the hair, the mullet. We got a good tackle. We had Mbappe through. I can imagine the through balls with him is going to be the main sort of attribute that I'm going to see from him. Hopefully a good amount of finishing as well with that chem style. That should lead him into quite a very clinical finisher, but we'll definitely see how that works in game. As we find him here, get that first touch and Bremer straight across. He has obviously got the 4-star weak foot as well, which is nice. So we definitely can see some left-footed shots as well. That's a touch. Oh, okay. Baggio! Oh, it's a good block. We got very unlucky to not get the shot. Just a little bit more away from the keeper. Into Baggio again, gonna see it forward. Look, a little ball into Ronaldo. We got to come with him back as well. We see him on that overlap. Can he drive? It's just that, I don't know, the acceleration's coming in at 89. Maybe he could do with a little bit more, because he definitely needed just that little bit, as it's a cracking ball. That's got to be a free kick. Never seen somebody use a shoulder to basically hit him in the face and get away with it. Baggio sees a bit of Mbappe. Can we get the first good touch? There it is, Baggio. Baggio again looking for the Mbappe. He's got a little ball in. It's a great ball. It's very close. If it could have dropped to his feet, I reckon he would have got that in. I feel like his precision passing is actually really nice. Noticing that most definitely, I feel like he's definitely more of an assist player than kind of, not necessarily a forward, because he is in that attacking zone, but most definitely more based as that sort of cam than he is definitely a sort of striker of the ball. As we see Ronaldo in here, we're going to look for him back if we can. Little finesse around a keeper. Good save, Van der Sar. Oh, he finds it. That is stunning. He absolutely sells Virgil, and he goes on the left, and it's a lovely strike straight down the right side. Finding the ball through. Has he got the legs for it? He's got Varane on the chase. Virgil across, and a good save again. Can we find a little head from him? Does find something, but not enough to go in. Baggio. Mbappe ball. It's a great little through ball. Doesn't manage to find anything off it though. Back into Baggio. Right foot across goal. It's not going to be Van der Sar though. There it is. Nice and easy. Mbappe does the work, and Baggio gets the finish. Dropping Baggio a little bit deeper just to see if that role kind of from the actual centre mid would actually suit him a little bit better, because I feel like him really pushing up the kind of end doesn't give him a lot of room to wiggle with, whereas I think as a centre mid he's going to have more of the ball, more of the passing, which is where his main attribute is going to lie personally. As we find him just here, this is the position we want to sit him in, because we know we can feed them balls left, right and centre with him, and then obviously it's all down to the forwards to kind of create that chance then. And again, we're finding him already so much more in more positions that I know that he can definitely have more an effect on the game. And again, I'm going to find it in the middle. Going to see if we can find a CR7 turn. Virgil's on him like a rash. Messi, left foot. Not what I wanted. Oh, that's a cracking ball. Has Messi got the legs? How on earth is he being beaten by Shaw to the ball? Even with a shadow, I feel like Messi is definitely considerably quicker. Is that Baggio with him? Oh, no, we haven't. Can we find him? Little spin. Oh, nearly. Back the ball again. Finds Baggio. First touch. Bang with the left. And a beautiful hat-trick. It may be too little too late, though. So if we are going into the overall for Baggio, definitely more of a midfielder role. Felt better for him. He felt like he was on the ball better. The passing is going to be the main attribute. Finisher is nice on him, and I do think the finishing definitely does show. But I definitely think passing is going to be the main attribute. It's 90 already. We've got a good element about it, and he is more of an assister. So I think finisher is the byproduct of obviously giving him more agility balance, as we can see here. We get the finishing, which is obviously a big stat of plus 12, but we do get the agility balance, which goes up. We've already got great ball control. Dribbling goes up to 99, and reactions is already really good. The big thing with him is strength is not on a level. Definitely don't want him to be caught on the ball. And that's where I think the more deep forward role doesn't work for him. The centre forward doesn't work. I feel like the centre backs are on him too quickly. If you've got somebody who's either pressing really hard at the start or obviously knows how to defend, jockey, get in your way, then that is where the one-on-one situation will struggle unless you have got very, very good wingers, teammates, obviously players in your squad to kind of make them runs with him. Obviously, in that centre mid, he picks up the ball more naturally. Definitely, as we've got a more defensive mid, and him being not necessarily defensive at all, just kind of more of an up and down sort of player, but most definitely is just a player in the way rather than actually going to tackle somebody, which definitely works as well. We see the 4-1-2-1-2 still working, which obviously has a cam centre mid or obviously a CDM as well. That works again really well because you've got that defensive position that sits back and holds the fort whilst you've got a player that goes forward, gets the pass, comes back, and is the outlet. That's what Baggio, for me, did really well in that second game. He was the outlet to the strikers, and you notice there was so much more options with where he wanted to go. If you've only got 3, maybe 2 options if he's running through on his own, or maybe on a very early counter-attack, you need that pass option. He's that counter where he's from the midfield and he wants to push it straight to your wingers, your strikers, whoever you've got up front. And the more options, the better for him because he can ping it. That being said, he can still finish, as we saw he scored a few goals, managing to get a hat-trick in that final game, which unfortunately was a little bit too late. Obviously, once you've gotten 4 or 5 minutes to go, like everybody does, they're going to pass it around the back. There's not a lot you can do. There's no press scenario that actually works for that. Unfortunately, EA saw it. But in terms of what we got from him, the pace was okay. Definitely felt a little bit slower than what I imagined he was going to be, but we haven't enhanced any of that pace with any chem style, as obviously we've chose the finisher. The shooting, not bad. Passing was brilliant. Dribbling was actually really nice, mixed with the 5-star skills. That's always going to be really good. And then we do have a little bit of stamina, which, again, you don't want him completely burnt out by the end of the game. You definitely want to be withholding as much stamina as possible, or subbing him off in the 60th, in the 50th, when you know you've gotten everything from him. If we look between the two versions then, obviously the base lost out on a massive amount of pace. He's got 2 more defending, which really doesn't count for anything, and he's lost 1 dribbling. So compared to the base, very little of an upgrade. The only thing is you will have to put some sort of pace-orientated chem style, which again would take away either shooting or obviously the dribbling. Then we have the mid, which again only he's minus 1 pace from the mid, but then he has lost a defending, a physical, a passing, and a shooting. So very, very similar. Hence why these are coming in at the same sort of price, and we are still a 5-star, 4-star. If we are looking from the World Cup icon to the prime, we are losing a pace, gaining passing, shooting, dribbling, and defending. So again, there's not a lot between the mid, prime, and World Cup icon, to be honest. So if you've got one of them, you've probably got one of the better ones. There's no upgrade on the 5-star, 4-star. If we got a 5-5 as the prime or even the World Cup icon, you'd definitely see that price being a little bit more than obviously the previous or future versions. So realistically, I think you've got the best sort of one here. If we're looking at cams in that sort of price range, about 150 to 160, I think there is definitely quite a few that you can go with, and I do consider him more of a cam sort of basis as well. I think that is going to be the perfect position to play him in. We're looking at the kind of Park Ji-sung. We're looking at Nakata. Very, very good. Do not sleep on Nakata. He definitely is not a bad one. We then have Kaka, who's a little bit more expensive. Okocha, Del P. Harry Kuehl is a nice one. We've got another version of Kaka, just that little bit more expensive. And if we go a little bit under, Haji, again, not terrible. Not the greatest, but again, like I'm saying, he's not necessarily completely woeful. We have a Foden, who I absolutely love Foden on this game. A cheeky Rooney. We then go a bit further down. Socrates, Berghuis, Havertz. No one's really jumping out of me. A big old Kev. Never argue with a Kevin De Bruyne. And I think Jackie Grealish. I'd say they're the sort of names that are really screaming out of me. Everybody else is going to be more expensive. And like I say, with cams, it all depends on your formation. Personally, I do like a 4-4-2, and he definitely suits in that second midfield role. But you're going to have a very good DM to almost compensate for the lack of defending that he's going to give you. But I think in terms of price, it's not bad for a new icon, a World Cup icon coming in at 160. We have got the Prime, which I can imagine will probably sit at around about 200 at the end, or at least when they have settled down to their minimum. We did see, obviously, the mids, the bases, and World Cups all come down in price compared to previous years, and I think the Primes will follow suit with that. So let me know down below what you think about Baggio. I personally would give him a solid 9. I'd probably go maybe as far to drop him down to an 8.5. But in terms of a cam, I think he did really well. In a centre mid role, then definitely there is loads of options there. But it depends on how you work that midfield. So let me know down below what you think about him. Make sure you like and subscribe on this. And I'll catch you all for the next one.